it's exactly what I wanted and I thought I'd get with the twin hull alloy. Hi, my name's Ross Siamaga. We're on Waikino. We've just had a fish in my boat. I've been on my boat, and fishing was a little disappointing, but a local just told me we've done well catching anything at the moment. Well, when I was a kid I used to whitebait and fish off Devonport Wharf when I was around, and swim off Devonport Wharf, so that was the beginning. Then my father used to row me out from the old Masonic pub, and we used to go just a couple of 100 metres offshore, and we'd always catch a fee, so that was the start. Then unfortunately I misspent youth playing rugby, drinking too much, so I stopped fishing for a while and started again probably 35 years ago on a smaller, and built up to various boats, but sold on the aluminium. Had a couple of fiberglass boats. I like the aluminium boats, they can take a bit more. I've recently bought the 450 Kingfisher. I had a 7.5 metre white pointer and did game fishing and what have you on it. Great boat, but it weighs 3 tonnes, and my kids have left home, and my wife, I didn't want to sort of drag her off the end of the pier with the weight of that boat, so I wanted to have a boat that I could use myself but punches above its weight, you know, that I can take 3 or 4 people out in it. I've taken it over Mangawhai Bar, taken it to Whong Mata, taken it out from there, and I have to say it's exactly what I wanted and I thought I'd get with the twin hull alloy. You know, the hull too is doesn't draw much at all, so I can take it in shallow. I went Mangawhai Bar and the wind got up a bit, and it wasn't a big swell, but you know, it was that washing machine type situation. Ran through, didn't get any water sort of really coming up. You know, when I was going through some good waves, I did get some spray on the screen as you expect, but I was going reasonably quick and into a sea. Yeah, and it tracks really well. You know, when I was going through there, it didn't do anything scary, you know, coming down a swell or anything like that. So yeah, so far it's been really lived up to and exceeded what I was expecting. Casting platform is another real asset to the boat. I mean, you can fish 360 degrees, and when you're standing on the casting platform, you're up high, stable. I mean, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be, so I find it really stable up there. Fantastic even for looking for workups. It's just another area on the boat that is totally fishable, you know, so you've got both sides of the boat, and you've got the casting platform that would be the first place I'd go to fish. No, I was thinking I was going to have to really get used to, you know, people say they lean the different way to a mono hull, and I suppose maybe you do that if you're doing a 360 in a real tight circle, maybe. But so I've found it not too different at all, but it's definitely a very stable boat. You know, you can have 2 people fishing on one side, and it's not going to really, you know, you're not going to have to tell the person to get on the other side of the boat. So I really think that is a great advantage, and I haven't had any sort of surprises with the handling of it at all, you know. The key to me is reliability. You know, when I turn the key, I want the bloody thing to start, because if things go wrong, I'm not mechanically capable of fixing too much. So so far so good with the Honda, and I will be kind of testing that, because I will be still sort of going to the Aldermans and maybe not Mere. Well, yeah, on a good day. Probably, I would say 7 to 8 litres an hour, yeah. I mean, it's really been But I've been running it, I probably haven't run it at 20 knots for an hour, but 15 knots is even, cruising out here would be even less than that. It looks good, it performs really well, feels like a bigger boat, and with the Honda on the back, it's economical, it's quiet, you know, so for anybody looking for inshore fishing, absolutely ideal. I'm actually going to do more than inshore fishing because I'm sure it can handle that. Guys at Kingfisher were really good, helpful, you know, didn't oversell me and what have you. The specs that I wanted, what I needed, the cost, yeah, they were really good to deal with, so wouldn't hesitate to recommend them. Yeah, I've been really pleased.